Hello and welcome to Gillett Secondary School. We are grateful for the opportunity to share our journey at Gillett Middle and High School as we implement universal design for learning. This has been a meaningful experience, not just for our staff, but most importantly, all of our students. UDL isn't just another initiative, it's a shift in how we approach instruction, collaboration, and professional growth. When we started this journey, the conditions were just right. Our staff was ready. Over the past few years, we had built a solid foundation of high quality instruction, and teachers were eager for new strategies to improve student learning. Our school calendar supported structured implementation by adding monthly early release days dedicated to UDL work. This provided intentional time for teachers, both general education and special education, to collaborate and reflect. We were also able to secure consistent support from Joe Miller at CISA 8, along with other UDL Trials team members to facilitate the implementation trials work on our early release days. From this, we were able to develop a 3-trial UDL implementation roadmap that allowed us to gradually introduce, test, and refine UDL strategies. From the start, we wanted this to be teacher-driven. Instead of assigning staff to UDL teams, we let staff choose their own. This created cross-disciplinary collaboration. Teams included a mix of subjects, grade levels, and sometimes even core and elective teachers, along with authentic engagement where teachers took ownership of the work, which built investment and trust in the process. This supported each UDL team in developing their own academic and engagement rubrics tailored to common desired student outcomes. Ultimately, what this really did was break down silos between departments and create deeper professional conversations across our entire middle and high school staff. Seventh grade teachers Bailey Craning and middle school special education teacher Becca Sendra parallel taught 7th grade math and ELA together. This duo naturally embraced the UDL implementation trials. After trials 1 and 2, Bailey and Sendra had the opportunity to present their classroom perspective to the Gillett School Board Curriculum Committee. Let's hear from the two on their UDL journey.
I am Bailey Craning, and then with me is...
I'm Becca Sendra.
We are 2 teachers in the middle school who are currently doing UDL trials. So our academic rubric is based on making sense of problems and persevering when solving them. So our focus is on our 4 criteria, which is analyze givens in a problem, plans a solution pathway, checks answers, and then represents the problem, whether that's drawing or objects or however the students choose to do that. And then our engagement rubric is making personal choices, initiating and completing instructional tasks, working with others with exceptions, and then participate in discussion. So I created this wonderful kind of spreadsheet so that it is easy to find the words that you need in order to create those wonderful learning goals on your board. So I use this almost daily when I am looking for something that I need for my learning goals. And then Becca and I use AI. We use it to make our self-assessment. So I will let her talk about that.
So Bailey and I created a self-reflection form to kind of go over students reflecting on how they approach math, when they get stuck on problems, how they problem solve, what their growth goal is for the future, and then how they persevere through different problems that approach them. So the students have filled this out once a month, and we compare the data of how they rate themselves from the first time they filled it out to the most recent time they filled it out. They get to analyze how they're asking for help from Bailey and I, how they're approaching problems in the classroom. When it comes to problem solving, are they just sitting there and doing nothing, or are they asking questions, looking at their resources? And then they get to create their own growth goals and work towards that to kind of look at what's one thing they want to do better at, what's one way they can improve, and they need help. What's one thing they need help with? The final reflection that they do on our monthly self-reflection is they look at one specific action they can take to improve their problem-solving skills throughout the week. And then we kind of work with them on working towards those goals.
What stood out most wasn't just the direct impact on instruction, but the quality of professional conversations happening in our building. These conversations weren't just limited to UDL teams. They started happening everywhere. Common planning times, staff meetings, student assistant teams, and my own conversations as an evaluator with teachers. We took this momentum and aligned our UDL work with educator effectiveness. Every teacher's SLO and PPG are similar and built with our UDL work in mind. This means that the work we are doing isn't seen as extra, but as an essential part of instruction, assessment, and reflection. This alignment brings cohesion to our instructional practices, reinforcing a shared language and approach among teachers. Of course, no implementation is without its challenges, and one challenge was addressing initial skepticism about data collection. Some teachers, not to pick on anyone, but especially in math and science, wanted to approach this as a scientific study with control groups and rigid measurements. While their analytical mindset was valuable, it also created initial pushback because the goal of our trial data is not to conduct formal research. It is a guide coupled with our professional knowledge to improve instruction. This required intentional coaching, mentoring, and discussions to help those teachers see that our approach to data wasn't about proving a hypothesis, but about informing best practices. Over a journey of a few months, our more hesitant staff came to see the value of trial data collection and started making meaningful contributions to the process. One key takeaway here is that buy-in is an ongoing process, not just a one-time agreement. Some teachers needed more time and discussion to see the impact, and that's okay. When we started, we had a structured plan, a 3-trial implementation roadmap, but one of the most important lessons we've learned is that UDL is a journey, not a checklist. We've made adjustments throughout the year based on our experiences, and we expect to keep revising as we learn more. And again, that's completely okay. This mindset shift from seeing UDL as something to finish to something we continually refine has been a major part of our growth as a school. After completing Trial 1 and Trial 2, data shows positive and stable trends in both student engagement and academic success. I want to leave you with this. The journey has been worth the work. It's not just about implementing UDL, it's about building a culture where teachers collaborate deeply, reflect meaningfully, and refine their practices to support all students. Teachers have been energized, so much so that several have volunteered to provide professional development sessions for their colleagues on how they are shifting their instructional practices. We're excited to continue this journey at Gillett, and I hope that by sharing our experience, you feel inspired to keep moving forward in your own UDL work. Thank you. Feel free to reach out to us in Gillett. We would love to collaborate as you continue your UDL journey.